as you connect with each other, you notice that there is a fire in the middle of the clearing. And the fire is a really gorgeous orangey red colour. It's glowing. It's been lit for a while. And those colours are just flickering away in the middle. And you go and grab yourself a cushion because you really want to get really comfortable by the fire. And so you grab yourself a cushion from the corner in the clearing, and actually you can choose the colour of that cushion. What colour would you like to choose today? So you grab your cushion and you sit then in a circle around the fire. And as you're connecting and getting really grounded and really sitting around that fire, you can feel the warmth of that fire coming through. And you can feel that enormous, gorgeous connection with each other in the circle.
But it felt as if I was literally just the most unbelievably lucky pair of hands that got to do it. And as I always say, I'm not the chocolate milkshake, I'm the straw. The milkshake has very little to do with me. I really am just the straw. And my job in reality is to make sure the straw doesn't clog up with my own nonsense. So it's the real work is keeping the straw clean so that what comes through is still lush chocolate milkshake. And basically what comes through the straw is mostly, I wonder if one can say this on a big platform, is mostly magic. None of it is really scientifically explainable. Our darling friend Ray McKim, who can't speak at this because he's not well, can do all the science stuff, and he's really good at it and he explains it, so I have no clue what he said. But there is a scientific way of explaining it. I just don't know what it is. For me, it's just pure magic. And if I can just quickly add in there, I got a most beautiful message last night from a friend whose son bathed in a bottle. And within kind of 24 hours after he got the job he wanted and a legal document that he'd been waiting for more than a year. So all of it happened. So she just sent me a message and said, what do you put in these bottles? Well, it's magic. So there you have kind of the whole system in a nutshell. I've been thinking about that question. It's water in the bottom fraction, and the oil obviously floats on top. So it's a salad dressing in fact. So the water we now know from various brilliant people like Masaru Emoto, the Japanese man who photographed the crystals. Water has a memory. And if water has a memory, all water on earth talks to all water on earth. And we are 70% water. So we tap into that water energy. And what is kind of programmed into the bottles, I would say, is the intention for healing. The intention is the key to all of it. There is also our bodies respond to color. That's scientifically provable. You can do it with various ways. They put very excited, angry people in a bubblegum pink room and they calm down. People's blood pressure goes up in a red room. It calms down in a blue room. All that kind of physical stuff is there if affected by the color. And then we add essential oils, and they, we know, have a definite efficacy, and they kind of are very matchy-match with the colors. So there are little things that we can say this is why they work. But for me, it is just purely that we work with an energy substance, and it is like Reiki in a bottle. You don't go to somebody for Reiki and then have an allergic response. You cannot, because it is pure energy. It simply mirrors where you are. And if you have a reaction, by all means, stop using the bottle. But by the same token, look at where you are allergic to a situation that you've created. Look at where you are allergic to, what you've become, maybe, so it's always a case of, it's not what's in the bottle, it's what's in you. And all it can do is mirror, mirror, mirror your magic, or your place where you've forgotten your magic.
So the Heal Your Birth technique focuses on uncovering and transforming the subconscious imprints created during conception, pregnancy, and birth that may still be influencing your beliefs today, your behaviors, and your emotions. The technique itself helps you connect with your baby self. And it involves really gently connecting with that baby self, the energetic imprint of who you were at the time, and being in the womb. This enables you to communicate with your younger self. So that is very important, because listening and communicating, hearing, seeing, acknowledging your younger self often is what heals trauma like straight away, because you no longer feel alone when you've been acknowledged. You're going to be able to, during the process, we bring awareness and understanding to the younger self, because the child's brain or the baby's brain is not capable of understanding things in the same way as our adult brain is. The theme of today, the red for the physical. So in utero, as a baby in utero, did you know that the heart is the first internal organ to develop in the womb? It begins forming just 3 weeks after conception. So your heart has been with you for the whole of your life, minus 3 weeks. So within our heart lies a spark of white light, our sacred connection to source, our soul, and our higher self. Our physical, mental, and emotional development in the womb is deeply influenced by a mother's experiences, her beliefs, her emotions, and the overall physical condition of her body as well. So this is also very important to take into account. Her inner world becomes the foundation of our early experiences. For example, if a mother experiences some form of grief while she's pregnant, then the baby may have asthma or eczema or digestive issues. Okay, because all of those are created through loss, with that feeling of loss. The skin will really register with separation and loss. The lungs too. So now we move to pink. I just love pink. Pink is all about bonding and connection and love, unconditional love, mother's love, femininity. So bonding with the mother is a vital stage in a baby's development, creating the foundation for emotional and physical well-being. For the mother, this is when she naturally falls in love with her baby, deepening connection and trust. During the bonding process, there's something happens within the mother. A connection between her brain and her heart is stimulated, which gives her that heart opening experience, but it also affects her brain and her connection with source, back to source, and those intuitive instincts to help her understand her baby's needs. When the baby cries, she intuitively knows what's going on because she's now even more connected. For babies, the bonding creates a feeling of safety, of love, of deep connection with the mother. And when I say mother, it's not just our physical mother, it's also about the earth. It's about being here on earth and feeling safe being here on earth as well. All right. So the mother not only represents that human to us, but it also represents being here on earth. Holding your baby self in a colourful womb filled with love and safety. And now gently bring this sphere back into your own heart, knowing that you are always connected with this part of you. As you bring your awareness into your heart, connect with your baby self and just notice that they have a message for you. What are they saying?
Is when we have the spring equinox, and it actually happened yesterday. So yesterday was just after 9 o'clock in the morning. The sun moves into Aries, and there's a connection with this bottle again because Mars is the ruler of Aries. So we have this message being repeated many different times. So it feels very significant. So my talk is about the colour and astrology of visionary activism. And what I feel is it's up to us how we express the energy. So it's up to us how we express the energy on a personal level, but also on a collective level. So this is one of the things that we'll be thinking about during this talk. So this Mars bottle brings a very dynamic energy and also initiative. It's very much a time of initiative. So perfect time to be holding the colour summit. And then in that way, we managed to, in a way, overcome these challenges that we have. So there's so much more value in learning how to use astrology to shape your current reality rather than just thinking, I want to know what's happening next year. So can you imagine how much vision and perspective that would give you? So colour and astrology can help you in any area of life. So it can be from relationships to home to work. It's wonderful in terms of looking at somebody's chart to understand what their gifts might be. And even health. It's actually quite helpful for health to understand what might be going on. What is my body trying to tell me? Is, again, as I think many of you will know, is the year of the wood snake. So the snake is about looking behind the curtain. It's about shedding skins, transforming from the inside out. And it reflects the energy of Pluto in Aquarius, in fact, because this is also about really clearing and going quite deep and maybe going into what's hidden in our shadows. What are our patterns? What are the stories that we want to let go of? And the wood essence in Colour Mirrors, I'll just show you that here. Maybe I'll spray it too. So this is all about the release of family patterns, and it can be about dealing with unexpressed anger. So it's actually a very good balance to the red, all this red energy, with the Aries energy that's building up, the fact that it's a number 9 year. It's rather nice that we've got the wood snake energy for the same year.
Wasn't it? It was all about the striving and having physical energy and fortitude and, pushing and so on. Really, today I want to show you some tools that will allow you to not struggle and push so hard, but to have more ease. I always say effort, yes, but struggle, no. And so let's dive into, first of all, before we get going with some of the tools, let's just take a little minute to do a little exercise. If everybody will play full out with me today, I guarantee you're going to have some little mini ahas and some transformations for yourself today. I love to not just teach and give you some concepts, but to really allow you to embody this for your own self, not just to take my word for it. I really want you to feel it in your body and know it as your own truth. So take a minute, and just, if you can sit relatively up straight, that's fantastic, with your feet on the ground, everything uncrossed, arms and legs, and just take a nice deep breath in and out. That's it. And then as you breathe in, at the top of that breath, breathe in for at least 3 or 4 counts, and then hold it. And then hold. And now breathe out. And just ask inside of yourself, into your heart, into your soul, what does success mean for me? And you might get a word or a phrase or an image, whatever first pops into your mind. Go with that. Excellent. So just either remember that or jot it down in your journal. We'll come back to that in a little bit. And so you may be thinking, well, Lisa, that's wonderful. Like, that's what I would really love to have for my success, but that's not where I am at the moment. You know, I'm over here and I really want to be over here. How do I do that without burning myself out? And I'm already pushing and struggling and at my wit's end to get ahead. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is what are the steps, what are the things that you can do in order to have success come with more ease and flow, what I call magic. And really shore up our self-worth in order to build our net worth. And that self-worth is, you know, am I capable? Am I lovable? Am I powerful? Do I feel beautiful? Am I valuable? Am I magical? And do I feel free? Do I really feel like I'm the creator of my own reality? Like I can pull together all of my goals and dreams and make them happen? And of course, you know, much like the few days I spent getting ready for this talk, I was starting to question myself. You know, I was thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to show up and do a talk when I'm in this state? There must be, you know, the universe must have some other message for me. What is going on here? But just to know that there's always hope, and that whatever is coming up inside of you, whatever is being mirrored in your life, in your business, with your coworkers, with your family, it's there to show you where deep inside of you, you're just out of alignment with your magic.
Picture this. It's Saturday night. I'm in my kitchen. I look at the calendar. Hey, it's Saturday night. Saturday nights used to be the most special time for me because I have a loving husband, and that was the time we'd get together. Sadly, though, things have become a little rigid, scheduled, and not quite as fun as they used to be. Well, I go to hug him to see if there's a spark there. But sadly, he says, got too much on my mind. I'm disappointed. Gosh, I'm going to have to wait another week till he's in the mood. But here's the thing. I have a plan. Yes, I booked us for a lesson at the local ballroom dancing class. I put on some lipstick, splash of perfume, and my favorite sexy dress. and I've got us going to this ballroom dancing class. Here's my hope, that with us dancing together, learning some steps, swaying together, it's going to reignite that romance and intimacy away from the rigid schedule that he has planned for us. So off we go to the dance class. You also have to have a willingness to be open-minded and a willingness to learn and grow. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to help yourself. So willingness is such an important thing. It actually changes the brain, changes the body chemistry. Open mind, open heart. So when you have an open mind, it shifts everything and you become more open-hearted. And that's what makes such a big difference with clients that I've worked with. The ones who have an open mind, they are the ones who are willing to try and experience new things. They're willing to change, and they experience the most growth and healing. And talking about healing work, I feel that we are spirit and a body. So for me, the marriage of the body and the spirit is so important. I can't talk about one without the other. And this is where color comes in. It's the integral part of putting it all together. And here we have the seventh sense. This sense helps us to drive our connection and our joy in relationships. The associated body part is the heart. And you'll see that there's magenta there. Now the heart defines how we want to connect and what we want or need to feel loved and nourished and filled with joyful aliveness. So while the five senses help us interact physically with the world, the seventh sense drives our innate desire for connection and joy. It highlights the emotional and social dimensions of human relationships. This sense is deeply connected to our emotional and mental well-being and fulfillment. So when we look at relationships, magenta is a combination of red and blue, the polarities, like masculine and feminine, hot and cold, up and down, movement and stillness. And the combination of the two polarities together forms magenta. Red, blue, and yellow are the three primary colors. So if we think about there's red and blue in this color, forming magenta, forming the polarities. And if we look at the color wheel, we'll notice the exact opposite of magenta is yellow, the joy. Yep, that's what we all need to help us to bring more joy into our life.
All right, so I just sprayed the earth essence to get us centered and grounded, and I just want people to just find a quiet space. I'm sure we're all in a quiet space, but if anybody's watching this while they're driving, don't do that. Do it at a later date. And I just want us to get comfortable and relax. You can sit down for this or lie down, allowing your body to settle into a position that feels at ease. Gently close your eyes and take a deep breath in, filling your lungs with fresh air. Exhale slowly, releasing any tension you may be holding on to. We'll do this 2 more times. Let your body soften with each breath, letting go of the outside world and focusing entirely on your inner experience. Visualize a gentle golden light rising from the earth, wrapping around you like a soft, warm blanket. And with each inhale, take in her nourishing, healing energy. And as you exhale, release any stress or distractions and hand them over to her, where they are absorbed and transformed. This golden light connects you to the heart of the planet, grounding you and offering you divine love, infinite light, healing energy and peace.